All Aboard the Dream Train presents a series of live interviews with people from all walks of life sharing their dreams. Welcome aboard the Dream Train Express.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like wake up, don't know what day it is, doesn't really matter. It's so silly.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride. It's definitely been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
A whole lot of ups, a whole lot of downs. Some like real high highs and some real low lows. So it's been a whole blend of things for sure, but
yeah.
You know, it is what it is. We just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, man, it's all we can really do. I mean, it'll pass eventually, but yeah, it's just real weird for sure.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes, that's been coming to mind a lot is actually from Robert Wagner, where he says, "No dreamer controls the dream, no sailor controls the sea."
Ooh.
And that's been coming to mind a lot, especially in this time. Like, we just have ourselves and what's in our direct control, in our environment, everything else, it's out there.
Absolutely. Totally, man. I like that quote. That's dope. What's up, Jennifer?
Hey, Jen. Yeah, Jen's one of my podcast co-hosts from the Dream Freaks.
Hell yeah. Dope, dude.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, stoked to see her. Let's just jump into it, man. Welcome, everybody, to All Aboard the Dream Train Express. My guest today is a yoga instructor, a massage therapist, and the co-host of the Dream Freaks, which is a collaboration between himself and two other dream workers. Welcome, Alejandro Salinas.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Fan of you for a while, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell anybody that's listening a little bit about the Dream Freaks?
So the Dream Freaks started. I met Tree Carr first. I think she's one of the first people I met when I was venturing out onto Instagram, starting to talk about dreams. And she was also a death doula. We're both into death. She was also a musician. She did dream work. She seemed super cool, so I reached out, messaged her. Honey Hive Buzz showed up. Juliana, what's up?
Juliana.
And so Tree we became like really good friends really quickly, and she introduced me to Jennifer.
Cool.
And they were good friends, and they've done mutual dreaming experiments.
Nice.
And we were talking and kind of thinking about how we can collaborate on something, and eventually the podcast came to mind.
Sick.
And we went with it. The name comes from, we've all felt a little bit freakish, alienated in some ways, and our interest for dreams and things like that, and the occult and mysticism and esoteric practices.
Yeah, man.
And we're really inspired by Bowie, too. We're thinking about Freak Out and the Starman. So, I don't know, we came with the Dream Freaks.
That's awesome, dude. I love the name, man. It's a great podcast, man. It kind of reminds me, like the three of you, it kind of reminds me of This Jungian Life a little bit, because you guys are all dream workers.
We drew a lot of inspiration from This Jungian Life, and that's still a podcast I listen to like regularly, every episode that comes out.
It's really good, man.
I love that. They're great.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
That means a lot.
Well, in addition to that, before we get into some of these questions, you also just came out with an album.
I did, called Drifting.
I was listening to it today when I was editing. It's like super chill.
Yeah, thank you. It's exactly what it's intended for. I've honestly been sitting on a lot of those tracks for a long time now.
Really?
Years even.
They're dope, dude.
As far back as 2016 or 17, I think, I was in yoga teacher training.
Cool.
Which is where my whole teaching lucid dreaming began.
Okay.
I was in my yoga teacher training, and we had to do a thesis final workshop And while I was thinking, I was like, oh my God, I could do yoga and talk about dream work. And so I did a workshop. I went all out. I composed the music for it. So those first 4 tracks were actually one track that I composed for that initial workshop that I did.
Wow. And
I split them up into 4 tracks for the release, but they were one solid track.
Wow.
And I went all out. And, I'm like, I like art. You can probably see behind me these like clouds and things.
I love that.
I like making art installations. It's very ambient music, exactly intended for dreaming and sleeping, meditation and yoga. I'm really proud of it, and the response has been really incredible and heartwarming. Just hearing people say they've got the best sleep they've had in weeks, or that they felt knocked out for 10 hours with their clothes still on, or
nice.
that they don't even know what the rest of the album sounds like because they just fall asleep right away.
Yeah, man. Like, I was listening to it, and like, we'll probably get into this here in a little bit, but I listen to, like, I put headphones on when I'm having trouble sleeping, and like, that was like more. I haven't really listened to something like that. I do like binaural beats and like ocean sounds and stuff, but that was a very nice mix of like other ambient noises. It's awesome, man. I really liked it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was doing massage longer than I'd been teaching yoga.
Okay.
And I just wasn't satisfied with a lot of the music out there.
Yeah.
The like spa music. It always felt kind of cliche or like cheesy or insincere. And so I went for it, and it's meditative. It's meditative for me creating that. I didn't use any, beats or metronomes. I really just honestly used my breath to like hit a note, release the note, and it was just a very go with the flow kind of composition. And I want people to use it, for meditation or to create art with, to move with, to journal with, to dance to, or just to sleep to. That's exactly what it's for, and what I hope people get out of it. And if they want to buy the album, anyone can Venmo me any amount, honestly, $1, $20, $5.
For sure.
That information is in my bio.
Cool.
That helps me a lot. I mean, I'm also pretty out of most of my work as well. So
totally.
If you want to support me financially, I really love that and appreciate that as well.
Dude, even just $1 goes a long way, everybody that's listening. Anything helps, for sure. Cool, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Will you tell anybody that maybe just got in the room your name one more time, your age and location?
Yeah, so my name's Alejandro Salinas, or Ale, I go by. And the album you'll find under ALE with an accent mark, so just Ale.
Cool.
Like Ole, but Ale.
Right.
I'm 27 years old, and I'm young. I feel super young. 27 years young, I'll say. And ASL, yeah, this brings me back. I'm in Chicago.
Cool, man. Awesome. Well, I'm just gonna jump into these questions then. Aside from the music and the art that you've brought up, do you have any other hobbies or passions, or is that pretty much what you're focused on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty lately. I've doubled down on the dream work and the music, and I also host death cafes.
Okay.
And do a lot of work around grief and death and dying, which I got into through a lot of experiences, but in large part the Tibetan dream yoga practices, which are preparation for death and dying. And I had always been fascinated by, darker, occult, sort of mystical experiences.
Yeah.
Goth life. So.
Right.
Seemed like a good fit, and I have volunteered as a massage therapist with hospice before, and so I've been holding pretty regular death cafes through a nonprofit healing arts organization called Inner Sense Healing Arts Collective.
Okay.
And I teach yoga through there, and I teach a dream yoga class Wednesday nights.
Cool.
I teach a class called Art of Relaxation on Sundays.
Cool.
I've been holding these workshops. I've got a workshop called Exploring Grief on Sunday with a group called Breathe. And that's a free online all-day event with a whole bunch of different kinds of workshops. There's like a drum meditation, there's like Qigong, they got musicians.
Sick.
And other than that, I've really been enjoying cooking and just making music and talking, connecting to people, and having my own golf night clubs in my apartment.
Sick. I didn't know you golf. I didn't know that.
Golf night. The golf club.
A little bit different than golfing.
A little bit different than golfing.
I was gonna say that's cool. Golfing's cool. That's
yeah.
Rad. How would you describe yourself if you were to kind of just put it into maybe a few sentences? It's kind of a hard one, but
that's man, I don't know. I hate describing myself. Yolki Ono says 10 out of 10 want golf. How would I, I probably wouldn't describe myself. Yeah, Jesus.
It's kind of always changing.
That's probably
so.
I always have a hard time even describing like my music or anything. I kind of let other people decide what they want to say about that. But I think, I don't know. I think I don't take myself too seriously. I have fun. I really enjoy learning and growing and exploring all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. That's probably the hardest question you're going to ask me.
It is, yeah. That was a pretty good answer, though, so I like it.
Yeah.
It works. Cool, man. What helps you relax or unwind at the end of the day being a yoga instructor? Like, what helps you kick it down a notch?
Lately, my own album.
Cool. That's chill.
I've been listening to it.
Dope.
Yeah. And I think we should ultimately make, art for ourselves first and foremost.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the album was very much for me, and it's been a real joy and pleasure to share with other people. Jennifer says, amazing human. Thanks, Jen.
It's true.
I love a cup of tea and just meditating. I love candles.
Okay.
I turn off all the lights, and I just start turning on to a point where it's like a fire hazard, maybe.
Nice.
I just want like 1,000 candles in my apartment.
Are they scented?
And no, I don't like scented candles, but I do have one scented candle that I enjoy, but the rest unscented.
Yeah, they can get kind of
and it's a little much. And also the candlelight helps a lot just on a physiological level. Help filter out and produce the melatonin to help induce sleep.
Yeah. That's
so that you can more easily, gently drift.
That's cool. I don't think I haven't really heard of that one yet, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So the blue light, the sky is blue because it's reflecting that blue light.
Yeah.
Lets it know it's daytime and inhibits the production of melatonin. But we still get blue light out of our laptops and cell phones and even some of the common household lights that we have.
Yeah.
So especially since we're all here, I think I've certainly been on my laptop with Zoom meetings and all that stuff a lot more.
For sure.
So it's really important. It mimics the sunset, which then we get that reddish orange light that lets us know it's nighttime so that we can start shifting gears.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I dig it.
Beeswax candles. Yeah, get the beeswax. Support the bees. Love the bees.
They're the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. Pun absolutely intended.
Yeah, puns welcome, everybody. If you got puns, let them out.
Love pun.
What about rituals? Do you have any rituals for sleep?
I love ritual. And lately ritual has been something I've been contemplating a lot more. What it just means to have a ritual. And my last couple of posts on Instagram have been about a ritual that I've been holding around some grief and letting things go. And, like kind of separating or identifying rather the difference between a routine and a ritual.
Yeah.
Whereas a routine is a sort of standard set of movements or gestures that we do regularly.
Yeah.
Sometimes can be sort of passive.
Yeah.
I think that the routine, when it's elected, when we choose it, when it's active, is when we get a ritual. And I've really enjoyed viewing rituals as waking dreams.
Yeah.
They're dreams that we create. They're poetic. They're metaphorical. But as far as rituals, I just have, it's very simple, just meditations, yoga practices, nothing extraordinary.
Candles.
Some candles. I have been, actually, the Honey Hive Buzz with Juliana.
Yeah.
I met her, and we found out her grandpa was actually from a town an hour away from where my parents are born, in Mexico.
Oh, whoa.
Which is like a remote place, and we were freaking out, and so
small world.
We've been doing, it is a real small world, and so we've been doing a dream sharing experiment, and we conducted a ritual drawing from a lot of the Toltec dreaming practices.
I'm not very familiar.
There's an author called Sergio Magaña, and he lives in Mexico, and he's also spends a lot of time in London. And he's got 2 books out. He's got a book called The Toltec Secret and another one called The Caves of Power. The Toltec Secret is much more geared towards lucid dreaming.
Okay.
And The Caves of Power correlate to basically the 7 chakras, and there's 7 caves is a pretty fundamental story in the Aztec mythology.
Yeah.
And so, we mailed each other some things. We called in the elements for earth, air, fire, water.
Cool.
We had some blue lotus tea for water, and some smudge sticks that she grew from her garden for earth, and candles. And she rolled some mullein, lavender, herbal smokes for the air.
Nice.
And then we called in the directions from the Toltec tradition, and it was a powerful meditation and ritual, and felt really good. Neither of us dreamed too much that night.
That's fine.
But we have been having a lot of really crazy synchronicities and dreaming experiences so far, and we'll definitely be going live and sharing some of that journey with people.
Yeah,
for sure.
That sounds very cool, very unique. I had never heard of a lot of what you just said, so.
Yeah, check it out. It's great stuff. We love being Mexicans, she says. Yeah, and Mexico translates to the place of the moon's navel.
Wow.
And the moon being, a symbol of dreams. A reflection, dreams are reflectors, reflections.
Yeah.
And, the Mexicans are dreamers.
Are they?
And even Sergio says anyone who is a dreamer could be considered Mexica. So there's a real strong tradition of dreaming in the Mexican.
I did not know.
An ancient, a more ancient Mexican culture.
Yeah.
Sure. And I've loved exploring and diving into those more lately, for sure.
Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, Don Juan is another really great.
Don Juan?
Carlos Castañeda. And so it's funny, my mother's maiden name is Castañeda. I get asked a lot if I'm related to him. I'd like to think maybe somewhere down the line we are. Yeah. Unconfirmed. But yeah, Carlos Castañeda has a book called The Art of Dreaming, which is a really good one. Some similar exercises in there. He's got a big library of publications he's put out.
That sounds awesome. Sounds something that I'd be into at least checking out. I'll definitely try and find the links and link them to this talk.
Yeah. And I'm telling everyone to avoid Amazon if they want. Yes. I mean, I've been trying to avoid Amazon. Yes. There's looking for books, calling up your local bookstores or
Yeah.
libraries, or there's another website called Bookshop
Okay.
that I've yet to try out, but a lot of people have been recommending it, and I'm looking for it. I'm want to explore some of my unattended books for now.
Yeah, they kind of just pile up, don't they?
I do, and I love them. I've always dreamed of having a huge library. I still dream of libraries
Yeah,
for sure.
that's dope, dude. Um, what about do you sleep with a partner, or do you have the bed to yourself?
I have a king size bed entirely to myself.
Damn, that's tight.
Yeah, it's nice.
No pets or anything?
No,
Okay.
no pets. Never had pets. Maybe someday, who knows? But not right now.
Jennifer says, me
Uh,
too.
yeah. So
That's dope.
I love this king size bed since I got it. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I'm
So much room. And it's funny, sometimes I still find myself just on like a little sliver of the edge, but
curled in
it's
the.
nice to be able to kind of go around, be lousy, lazy, whatever.
Yeah, man, that sounds nice. I'm jealous. We got to share ours with two dogs, so it's me, my girlfriend, and
Oh
two
man.
dogs. So it gets crowded.
I bet.
Um, do you keep a dream journal?
Yeah, I do. And the Dream Journal was a gift to me from an ex. It's beautiful. She made it. She made it. She made it for me. It looks like the Diary of Impossible Things from Doctor Who.
Okay.
I
So,
don't know if you watched Doctor Who, but she just took something. She painted it like blue, and there's like looks like the journal from there, and it's full of dreaming quotes, and it's got like little watercolor paintings she did on
wow,
there.
damn.
It's really beautiful. It's really special. For a long time, I didn't use it because I was like, "Wow, this is like so amazing. I don't want to touch
Oh,
it." But I
okay.
was like, "Dude, this is exactly what it's for." So I keep a dream journal. I'm not necessarily. I sleeping with the phone in my bedroom just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just immediately get sucked into the social media
Yep.
tunnels.
I feel you.
So I block out all my curtains, so it's like pitch black in there. And if I need to write in the middle of the night, I'll just light a candle. Or if I wake up in the morning, I can just crack open the window,
Yeah.
and that little bit of light is good enough for me to jot down those dreams.
Nice. Do you have a sleep mask? Did I read that you use a sleep mask?
Um, well, no. I mean, generally, again, my room is like a cave.
Super
So
dope.
I've eliminated the need for a sleep mask, but
Gotcha.
I do own a handful.
Yeah.
Um, and before all this happened, I would spend one day a month going to a place here in Chicago called King Spa, and it's like a 24-hour Korean style spa and
Dude, I'm
sauna.
so down with King Spa, dude.
You know about King
I've been
Spa?
there once, actually in Chicago. I was there for a weekend and like randomly found it. Dude, I'm a big fan of saunas.
Yo,
I'm a
King
huge.
Spa's.
I love
I've been
saunas.
asked if I've been asked if King Spa pays me for how much I talk about
I
them.
wish.
I wish they did. I know, I wish they did, but just that amazing. It's just that amazing. I'm real sad I can't go, but I love going late at night when no one's
Yeah.
there. And I'll bring a sleep mask and earplugs and knockout, and they have they have an oxygen room, and it's my favorite room to sleep in.
Damn.
Uh,
Dude, it
yeah.
was so chill. Like I was like hungover the next day, like, and that's why I went. And like it was the best hangover cure. It was amazing.
Oh, and the food is amazing. They have a food court. They got a movie
I saw
theater.
that. I didn't try it out. I mean,
Oh my
it was
God.
good, huh?
And my cousins, shout out to my cousins who own a shop also in Niles, if you're in Chicago, called Lena's Frozen Treats. It's like 5 minutes from there. And they're still open for pickup, delivery.
Shout
So
it out.
my that's a ritual. Once a month, I'd go to King Spa. I wake up and go visit my cousins at their shop, get me some. They have like a bunch of frozen treats. It's vegan options as well.
Nice.
Get myself a snack there, and they got great coffee. They're just
That
amazing.
sounds like a great day, man.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna build my sauna here in the next couple months. I gotta get everything kind of together, but like saunas are awesome, man. It's like waking up in the morning, getting in a sauna, starting your day. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
It's good stuff.
Love it.
Are you a early riser or a night owl?
I'm definitely a creature of the
Yeah.
night. But it varies a lot. I have no problem. I have no problem staying up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
sometimes. Lately, midnight feels like a pretty good time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I also have a hard time going back to sleep if I wake up.
Gotcha.
Um, so the later I sleep, I tend to sleep a lot less and maybe take a nap. And sometimes I'll surprise myself and go to bed at like 10, but that's like really early. That happens a lot more rarely.
Do you still get like a solid 8 hour, 7 hour sleep, or what's your average?
No, unfortunately, I tend to have shorter sleep cycles, even when I just let, and I don't wake up without an alarm or anything. Listening to drifting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think my body just tends to have a little, less need for sleep. I just let myself go to sleep when I feel kind of tired.
Yeah.
Wake up whenever I wake up.
But it,
So I tend to get maybe like 6 or 7,
yeah. But
which is shorter than ideal for dream work, but that's all
it
right.
sounds like you sleep though. It sounds like or nap. Sorry. Sounds like you nap during the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love naps. I love naps, but I also don't take super long naps. The nap I just took was like 30 minutes.
Perfect.
I'd say more like 20, and then like an extra 10 just kind of lounging in bed.
Yeah.
I think of naps more as little meditations.
I like that. Dude, sometimes those
Yeah.
10, 15-minute naps during the middle of the day are necessary. You
Oh
wake
yeah,
up and you feel like $1 million
that's all you
afterwards.
need. I think a big problem, some people say they don't like napping, but it's a little bit of an art or a skill I think we practice, and you got to know a little bit about the sleep cycles to nap more effectively. Because if you nap for too long, you start entering into the deep sleep,
Yeah.
and uh, and that can obviously leave you feeling more groggy.
Yeah.
So if it's not for like 30 minutes, then I shoot for like a 90-minute nap, which is a whole sleep cycle.
Yeah.
And then some people just are so sleep deprived that a nap just makes it more apparent how sleep deprived they are,
Yeah.
and they just need to catch up on more sleep, which is not going to be achieved in a single nap, but multiple nights of getting as much sleep as you can
Yeah. Catching up a little
to
bit.
pay that sleep debt.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a sharp edge to walk though, because it's like those 6 like hour long naps, man. Sometimes getting out of those is like you said, it's hard to get out of them.
Mhm. Yeah, NASA did a study where they found like the ideal time for a nap was like 28, 30
I
minutes.
feel I feel that's pretty right. Spot on.
Yeah. Shorter naps are the way to go.
Gen-
And you don't want to take them too late, or the sleep onset gets delayed and you have a harder time sleeping at night.
yeah.
Uh, if you don't mind, then that's fine.
Yeah. Let's see here. Do you track your sleep or have you ever tracked your sleep?
Yeah, I've tracked it before. Usually when I'm on retreat, I've been on 3 retreats. I've been really blessed to have attended
Nice.
one with Stephen LaBerge in Hawaii,
Damn.
which was always a big dream of mine. He wrote the first book, I ever read on, exploring the world of lucid dreams. I think a lot of people was really inspirational, and for years, decade even, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and I finally made it out
Sounds
there.
awesome.
Um, and then I've been on a retreat with Charlie Morley in Spain, and most recently in Arizona, I took a retreat with Andrew Holacek and Stephen LaBerge.
Whoa, cool.
And Stephen LaBerge, on his retreats, they run science. He's a man of science, and I love science, and so they do have us log our sleep. But again, because I don't have a clock in my room, I don't take the phone into my bedroom. So if I do wake up, I tend to not really know what time it is exactly
Yeah.
I'm waking up from the dreams, unless I'm being like really diligent, which only happens on retreat.
Something nice about not having kind of the time there to remind you. That way you can kind of just focus on what you need to focus on.
hmm
Yeah.
It's definitely useful. It's good. I mean, even just like taking note of what time you're going to bed, what time you're waking up. is really useful. And even more than that, it is really nice to see your REM cycles and habits,
Yeah.
especially on some of those longer retreats where you really start to notice some patterns.
Yeah. Sweet, man. I guess one of the last few questions here. What's your favorite sleeping position if you have one?
I'm a big side sleeper.
All right.
I definitely do a little more like hypnagogic meditation, just on my back first. But before long, I'm on my side,
Yeah.
and I put pillows between my legs so that my hips aren't so
Cool.
out of whack. And I have like a memory foam double pillow that has like two different heights on either end.
Okay.
We flip it so that my neck isn't all wonky. Because I'm also a massage therapist, so I'm like posture.
Right. Yeah.
Got to be good.
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely a side sleeper.
Cool, man. Excellent. And then last but not least, what interests you in dreams?
Now that's a big question.
I know. I know.
Right side or left side? Both sides. Matt says, Matt Lucid Explorers. Yeah. Left or right. And you know what? There's in the Tibetan tradition, they will recommend either sleeping on the left or the right, depending on the masculine or feminine channels, which are flipped for men or women.
Huh.
I can never remember which, but I think they recommend like sleeping on the right side more to induce dreams. So there's an esoteric aspect to the side sleeping if you want to look into that.
Cool.
But what I love about dream work, I mean, dreams, they're access to your subconscious mind. And they give us parts of ourselves. I'm really into shadow work, the Jungian shadow work. If people aren't super familiar, and shadow work doesn't have to be anything dark or evil
Right.
or anything like that. Right, the shadow is just any parts of ourselves that are unseen or unheard, unrecognized, and our dreams reveal that to us.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful way to get in there. And dreaming is like the closest thing to like honest to God magic we can get to. I do love some other ceremonial ritual magic and things like that too, but the dreams, like you can go fly, you can cast a fireball if you wanted, you can experience being in outer space, like it gives you so much. You can meet, the inner child that you have within yourself and reconcile that. You can break down, the metaphor of walking through a wall in the dream, realizing that it's not very tangible, in the same way that in our waking life we have these walls, these barriers, these self-limiting beliefs that we place upon ourselves that we can also realize aren't as real as we think. Mm-hmm. And the dream work has taught me a lot about just living, really. Something else I've been thinking a lot about lately is when Stephen LaBerge said that dreams are perception without external sensory input, and that perception is dreaming with external sensory input.
I love that.
And then that, which is to say, right, our dreams are entirely subjective. They're our own personal experience. Right. And that when we're in our waking life, and I've stopped using the term reality as much even.
I like it.
Because our waking life still carries all the subjectivity of our dreams, except we've just added upon it a layer of this external objectivity that we share collectively is the shared dream. And Andrew Holacek was talking about cohabitation. When you cohabitate with someone, it's not just cohabitation of living with, but to share habits with, and how habits are very closely related to the Tibetan principle of karma. Of not necessarily being like what goes around comes around, but your habits, right? The consequences of your actions,
Yeah.
the things that you practice, you habituate to. And so reality is a funny thing. And practices, that they don't necessarily need to be real
Yeah.
to be valid, experiential. We can have really profound experiences. And people are
Totally.
like, well, it was just a dream. Like, sure, but that experience was very real.
Yeah.
You wake up from a nightmare and your heart is pumping and racing, or you wake up from a beautiful lucid dream and you feel like all this joy and accomplishment. And those are very real and very valid. And then we talk about the reality check,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically a little science experiment that we run.
Mm-hmm.
Am I dreaming?
Right.
Is this real? Is this as objective as I think it is? And I think that's a really beautiful philosophy, and just that I think life really is a dream. And there's so much more to dreaming than just getting lucid.
Yeah.
But we can also learn to create just our everyday experiences.
Yeah.
In this dream, and create the dream that we want together as a collective.
Oh man, that was really beautifully put. That was amazing. I'm gonna have to
Thanks.
play that back. I wouldn't be able to do it in my head right now. But yeah, that's awesome. Really well said.
Thanks.
Well, if you'd be so kind to share a story of yours, could you give us a little context behind it, and then maybe kind of just go ahead and share?
Story related to dream?
Yeah, if you got a story of a dream, maybe one that had a significant impact on you, or maybe kind of made you question something that you haven't questioned previously before having that dream.
I think I'm going to take this in a different route.
That's cool. I like that.
Because sometimes and I don't always share this publicly, but I sometimes struggle with, for a long time rather,
Yeah.
I've struggled with a sense of imposter syndrome. I had a very long, dry spell. I couldn't get lucid. And I was kind of beating myself up about it. And what really struck me on a retreat with Charlie Morley is we did an exercise where we planned out our dreams. We made dream plans.
Yeah.
We came up with these intentions, and he was saying that, the dream and the intention doesn't have to just be in a lucid dream. They can happen in a non-lucid dream. They can happen in a dream that you've forgotten, but that they can also come to fruition in your waking life. And the exercise he had us do, he played some music, a playlist that he did, and he set along a path. And we were in this, it was on a monastery.
Okay.
Up in the mountains.
Oh, cool.
In some suburb of Barcelona.
Cool.
And so we're in this beautiful meditation hall. And he sets up this row of mats, this path that we walk. And at one end, he's like, okay, this is the hypnagogic state. This is you entering the dream. And then on the middle of the path was the dream itself. And if you fell off that path was to wake up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the path, the hypnopompic state. And I'm going to shout out Lucid Explorers. He's been doing a lot of awesome meditations.
Yeah, Matt.
Or a lot of videos on the hypnagogic, hypnopompic state. If you want to check that out, his videos are really
Matt's
good.
got
I've been enjoying them.
Awesome videos on there for sure.
So we had, the hypnopompic, the hypnagogic on either ends of this mat. And the instruction was to act out the dream. From the time we were going into the hypnopompic to the point where we kind of got lucid, and the intention that I set was to meet my golden shadow, which is, as opposed to the dark shadow, which would be the more negative aspects. I say negative
Right.
aspects of our golden shadow is all of like our own hidden joys and talents and strengths that we may not be recognizing. So I wanted to meet my golden shadow. That was my goal. And as I'm walking down this path and kind of acting it out, and I have a theater background, so I don't feel super silly doing it. But I was really struck, especially looking ahead of me, was this wall of like golden Buddha statues and everything, realizing that I was in Spain, that I just like brought myself to Spain to study like dreams, in this like beautiful Buddhist monastery with this like amazing dream teacher. And I envisioned just like this, divine, like golden shadow, deity, angel, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, come to me. And I just like fell to my knees and I wept so hard.
Wow.
I was so struck by the realization that was meeting my golden shadow right there in that moment by the mere act of acting it out. Just pretending. Again, like taking this as a waking dream, and the power of ritual, right? And one of my favorite teachers, Gabriel Halpern, who's a yoga teacher here in Chicago who studied with Iyengar, he said that artists are the ritual makers of society. And again, that's something I've been thinking about a whole lot. And so, I want people to know that there's more to dream work than just like getting lucid, because that's something I struggled with for a really long time.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, I want to get lucid, I want to get lucid, I want to get lucid, and not being so hard on myself when I didn't, but it's a path still to be walked, and to be nurtured with patience and dedication, and that there's still so much in the dream realm.
Yeah.
There's so much in the realm of dreams that we can partake in, to be doing dream work without needing to get lucid. And if we get lucid, those are amazing. And I've still had plenty of awesome stories with those, but that doesn't always need to be like that.
Yeah, it seems like there is like a seems like there's a very large following of lucid dreamers, or people just trying to become lucid dreamers without even like really understanding what regular dreams are even about, or even like at the like very front stage of that is just like maybe you're not getting enough sleep daily to even begin to start the process of becoming lucid. Like me, myself, I'm not a lucid dreamer because my sleep sucks. Like I have way more things to work on before I even begin that step. There seems to be a lot of like almost like pressure, not pressure, but I think there's a lot more just to the dream practice, and even just sleep itself is like, if you can get that down, you're probably ahead of a lot of people out there.
Yeah, Andrew Holovec said that sleep hygiene is the bouncer to the nightclub of lucid dreaming.
I love that. Ellie, yeah, we're going to do some questions here in a minute, here at the end. That's an awesome question.
So I can add a little bit more to that, that sleep, it's okay. We need sleep.
Yeah.
Especially in a culture that's been so sleep deprived.
Yeah.
I think lately, I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people, myself, have been able to sleep more. I know some people have been sleeping a lot less.
Interesting.
And some people had trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
I need to plug my phone in. Stat.
No worries, man.
Do this. All right, we're good here.
Cool.
So sleep is good, and it's there needs to be, what I wanted to say is that there needs to be a certain degree of play and like a childish wonder.
Yeah.
do the dream work. And then we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously because the dreams don't take ourselves too seriously.
Right.
And that we should be having fun, and we need to be light, right? If you want to be lucid, to like think of the metaphor of flying.
Yeah.
We need to be light in order for that to happen. So it's really important that we don't beat ourselves up, that we have patience, we have fun with the practice, and then, you know, it'll come eventually. Eventually.
I really like that outlook.
In its own.
Yeah. Patience. I really like that outlook. I mean, life shouldn't be taken that seriously, so either should sleep.
Yeah.
So.
Sincere, but not too serious.
Right, for sure. Do you want to maybe take a few questions?
Yeah, I'd love to take some questions.
Cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and just chime in. We'll kind of just take them as they come, and then kind of try and work our way down. I think we got about another 15 minutes, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that, man, like my dreams have been really silly and just kind of unusual a little bit. I've just had some pretty weird ones lately. And I go through those dry spells as well too. Like there'll be weeks and weeks where I'm just like, you know, not having any dreams. And I was asked not too long ago, what do you do during dry spells? And like during a dry spell, I just told them like, I don't fight it, you know, there's no reason to fight trying to make yourself dream.
Yeah. And sometimes the body needs rest, you know?
Yeah.
And that's fine too. A really curious thing I've talked to some other dreamers with, and we've talked, especially on the Dream Freaks, how sometimes if we're not dreaming, sometimes we tend to get other people say that we're in their dreams. And Tree has, in particular, a lot of experiences with this, where she's, man, I don't remember a single dream. She just blacked out for the night. But like 2-3 people will message her, oh my God, you're in my dreams. So Tree is a super powerful dreamer, and so is Jennifer. They're both super incredible. I'm super blessed to be able to work alongside them, and I've learned so much from them. I'm really, really, really grateful to be a part of that group.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Hey, do you have any books that you're reading right now?
I'm always reading a couple. There's a book right now I picked up by James Hillman called The Dream and the Underworld.
Okay.
And he's sort of a Jungian contemporary psychologist. And his views have been, it's not often where I'm just like totally mind blown,
Yeah.
but this dude just wow. I've been really blown away by his insights and his words for sure.
Wow.
Difference between lucid dreaming and astral projection. So that's kind of I think a lot of people have a lot of different answers. For me, I've never personally actually experienced a whole lot of astral projection. I've had some kind of sleep paralysis, which is maybe the closest it gets. Some people argue that there's no difference. Some people will absolutely say that there is definitely a difference. But from my understanding, I would say that lucid dreaming is an internally subjective, created experience within your own psyche, whereas astral projection is more about the energy body leaving the physical body and exploring the waking external world environment, which can be really interesting. And this is where, you know, you think about these like remote viewing experiments where people will astral project to retrieve information from like a book or like even an envelope under their pillow, as an experiment that Stephen LaBerge did talk a little bit about on a retreat that I've had some friends do. Or you know, other people will astral project and see things outside of their house. and then they'll wake up and then find out that those things were actually happening. So that's, I think that's like the major difference, is that a dream would be more internal, subjective experience, and then that the astral projection is a much more external experience.
Cool. Looks like we got another one. Do you think the subconsciousness or subconscious is a shared connection?
Yeah, so even Jung talks a lot about the collective unconscious. Yeah. And this is where the stories, the mythologies that we share get involved, cultural norms and biases and customs. And these are all, even familial traditions are all shared subconscious experiences. Which is why, storytelling is such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Which is why, these rituals, traditions, like, as common as Christmas, is a subconscious experience. And even what we're going through right now as a collective, I think we share. And we think of the image of, Freud and his iceberg, right, of the id, the ego, the superconscious. And we think of that iceberg having layers and all that shadow work, the subconscious under the iceberg. But we forget, or maybe we don't mention as much, that iceberg melted still becomes part of the whole ocean. And Alan Watts has said that we are as continuous with the universe as a wave is with the ocean. And we identify with this wave while we're up, but sooner or later that wave is gonna crash down, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just becomes part of everything else. Which is largely what inspired the name of my last track, A Cloud Never Dies, is Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching on interbeing and impermanence. And that definitely plays into this collective subconscious, and the way people have shared dreaming experiences is really interesting for sure.
That was dope, dude.
Thanks for that question.
Yeah, it was a good answer, man. I really appreciate it. I think that was from the Mystic Rebel. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, Muhammad, what up, bro?
Appreciate that.
He's a homie. He's out in Santa Fe.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe he's in Chicago. I don't know, but I miss you, man.
Let's see. Well, is there anything you want to, anything else you kind of want to shout out or leave us with before we take off? It looks like we have about 10 minutes or so.
I know this will be live or posted online, so this weekend I have some workshops going on.
Cool.
But thinking of how this will be immortalized on YouTube and things. I do teach weekly classes through Inner Sense Healing Arts Collective again. Sundays at 4 p.m. to 5:30. Art of Relaxation. It's very restorative stuff. Wednesday nights, Dream Yoga, where we prepare for sleep and dreams at 9:30 p.m. And this is all Central Time.
Cool. Central
Standard Time. My album, Drifting, is out on Spotify, SoundCloud,
awesome album.
Google Play, iTunes. If you want to buy it, you can always Venmo me any amount. That helps me a lot. And that information is in my Instagram link bio.
Cool. I'll link that up.
Yeah. And that's about it for now. Cool. I've got to shout out.
Cool, man. And don't buy books from Amazon.
Yeah, don't buy books from Amazon. Bookshop. And the Dream Freaks, we're meeting tomorrow. We'll be recording some episodes soon. We just released episode 12 about a week or two ago.
Cool.
So give us a follow, a listen. We're finally on iTunes now too. It took us a while to get there, but they finally accepted us.
Cool, man. I still gotta listen to that one too, so I gotta get on that.
It's a good one. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. That one felt really good to record.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Absolutely.
Alejandro, again, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it. It was an honor, and yeah, man. Looking forward to hearing the rest of your album here next couple days.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Mason. It's been a pleasure to be on here.
Cool. All right, friends. Thanks again for watching. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, you can watch the full interview you just heard on YouTube. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to show me some love, I'm on all social media at All Aboard the Dream Train, all one word. My name is Mason William. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Get some sleep.